Welcome back to the garage, guys. In this video, we're going to be putting the finishing touches on our Hearst quarter stick install. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to be working on the big block Miata. And today is actually my favorite day of the week. And by favorite day of the week, I mean any day I come home with parts on the front step, it's a good day. So what I have here is my shifter cable, my cable holder, and my lever for that C6 transmission. For those of you that didn't see my last video, we've got a 2001 big block Miata. I've got a Hearst quarter stick and a hydraulic handbrake we just installed on the console. Well, now we got to tie it all into the car and make this stuff work. So let's get to work, see what we got to do. So we've got the range selector switch off the transmission. It does have a shaft that is comparable to the hole that I have in here. So this looks like it'll work and tighten down. Problem is, this shifter's instructions state you need to put it in neutral and then cut this original bracket off right there, leaving just the shaft exposed out of the transmission. Now, I am going to try to skip that step, put this on here as is because it's almost straight up and down because I don't have access to get in there and cut that right now. But we're going to give this a try and see if it works first and then adjust later. The other part is the shift cable bracket here. This little nugget attaches right here just like this. So that cable is nice and in line with that lever. So we've got the shift cable bracket and the lever attached to the transmission. Looks like it's all in line, going to work pretty well. So now we need to go up top and see what we have to take apart to get that hole through the tunnel. So it says, warning, this could be spring loaded. So I'm going to use both hands for this. So now that I've safely unpackaged my cable because it was under some pressure, you can see that there's this adjustment piece that goes in the lever on the transmission. It threads on here. Looks like it's got a bit of a jam nut to kind of keep that tight so it doesn't work its way loose. Got a couple of pins here, one for the shifter in, one for under the car on the transmission to tighten things down. Got a couple of clips. Looks like I may have got an extra one of those. Now, I'm going to have the part numbers for all these parts in the description below in case you guys have a C6. This actually took me a minute to look up just to be sure I had the right parts. So now I need to go in from the top side here, get as much access as I can, maybe remove the HVAC controls on the radio, and put a hole through the floor pan so that I can run the cable down through it. Now, if you've ever had one of these shifters before, you might know a kind of cool part about it is you pull this puppy back, put it in neutral, take the knob off, any minute now. Yeah, that's plenty of threads for a shifter knob. You pull these two pins on the back side and wiggle this just right, and you've got full access to your shifter mechanism, eh? So what I've got to do is kind of figure out what direction that hole is headed and try not to put too hard of an angle in this cable, but I'm going to try to punch a hole right up there so that I can get it through the floor. So with our shifter out of the way, we took some extensions and got our hole saw way down in there so that we don't have a lot of angle on that cable coming out of the shifter housing. There is a little bit of collateral damage here at the dash, but I don't think anybody's ever going to notice it. All right, so we've got the console mounted back in here, hopefully for the last time. We did some slight modifications right here to make plenty of room for that shifter. All we've lost out of this deal is the power point, which we didn't really need, so that works out. So all we got to do now is put the shifter back on there, make sure the cable is attached correctly, then go underneath to adjust it. All right, so what we've done is we've brought the shifter cable down over the homemade cross member here, back around again to that bracket we mounted earlier, and then we've put this in here in the lever and adjusted it to where we think is right and stuck the Carter pin in it. And it seems to be nice and free and working good. So my assistant is going to shift gears now and show us how it works. Oh, that reverse lockout's a doozy, but I think she'll get it. Oh, there it is. And park. Look at that. All the gears are there. Nothing fell off, and I think it's going to work. Tell me more about your experience just driving cars.
I'm a great driver.
How many cars have you hit houses with?
1.
How many cars have you totaled?
2.
How many times did it take you to get this in park?
2.
So now that we've seen it work underneath, let's try it again on top, make sure everything works. I got a nice solid click there. I can hear the underside of the car clicking along with the detent and the shifter. It went to neutral, the reverse lockout engaged. That's drive right there. Like I said, I feel the detent here and I hear it under the car. Second, low. It is everything we needed right here. So now that we've got the shifter installed and everything properly adjusted, I want to take the car for a ride. But what has happened is last time we ran the car, we burned the starter up. And we didn't kill it all at once. We actually had some situations back when we first started the car before last competition that we actually melted the post. This post right here is actually falling out of the starter. We've melted the whole solenoid down. And this right here is the new starter. I'd love to just go throw it in there, but we actually built this thing so tight that we either have to lift the engine out or pull the frame off to get to the starter position. So we're going to save that project for another video. That's going to do it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.